Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, February 2nd, and I'm Brian Boudreau.
And I'm Krista McDonald. It's great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood.
This week on Norwood News, the MBTA Task Force held an open house at Memorial Hall. The Orient Lodge held the annual Tony Awards, but first, in the past couple weeks there have been several reports about the state of Steward hospitals in Massachusetts. Steward officials notified legislative delegation in Massachusetts that they plan to sell off 10 of their facilities and 4 of them need to be sold immediately, including Norwood Hospital, which hasn't been in service since June of 2020 due to flash flooding. Steward blames their financial struggles on low reimbursement rates for Medicare and Medicaid patients and the lasting effects of COVID. Governor Healey stated earlier this week that their focus is to make sure that patients have access to care and jobs are protected. Congressman Stephen Litch spoke to NCM via phone this week.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to think that if, Steward is going to close, where are these people going to go?
Right.
Just like on a local level, obviously we're Norwood.
Right.
Norwood is in the middle of building a new hospital. Steward is. How does that affect the sale? I'm not sure if you can touch upon that, but, do you envision someone coming in mid-construction to continue this construction and build a hospital?
That would be very difficult. Even to get someone to come in and take over what they call a going concern, in other words, a hospital that is operating, is extremely difficult. It is that much more difficult when you have a hospital such as Norwood, where you have major construction going on, and so it greatly complicates things. You have a construction site basically, and so you've got construction loans that are the insurance on a hospital site where you have ongoing construction in progress is very, very expensive. There are also vendors and contractors that have agreements with Steward to build that to rebuild or create a state-of-the-art hospital as we were promised, just months ago. So it greatly complicates the situation at Norwood Hospital in terms of finding a new entity to come in and take over operations.
The new Norwood Hospital, which was slated to open in 2025, is in the middle of new construction. Norwood News will be following the story as it develops.
This past Monday, the Planning Board and Director of Community Development, Sarah Dixon, held an open house at Memorial Hall inside Town Hall to answer questions and chat with members of the community.
Today we hosted one of our first open house events. The planning staff and planning board and MBTA Communities Task Force has been working for the last year and a half to draft a new zoning bylaw that would bring Norwood into compliance with the state's new 3A law, which requires us to create a zoning district that allows for multifamily housing by right within a half mile of our train stations. So we are at the point in the process where that bylaw has been drafted after many months of community engagement and research and study and discussion, and it is before town meeting for a special town meeting in March 21st. And so we're really just trying to get the information out about that bylaw, give people an opportunity to ask questions about it, to learn about it, the how and why it was created to include, all the requirements that it does. What's the process been to get to this point? We know that sometimes in town meeting or information sessions, it's really a challenging thing to stand up and ask questions in like a formal session. So the goal of these open houses is really just to give people an opportunity to have some coffee and, in a more relaxed setting, just ask questions and chat with us about this. We know it's complicated. So our next open house will be on February 16th from 9 to 11 here in Memorial Hall at Town Hall. That'll be a similar kind of informal event. We'll also be having an open mic night on March 11th at 7 p.m. That'll be all online for folks who maybe can't come to Town Hall on a weekday morning. And then the Planning Board has its public hearings on this on February 12th And town meeting also has informational sessions scheduled on February 28th. All of that is on the town's website, so I encourage everybody to go and check that out. So, there's a lot of concern about the impacts of more multifamily housing development in Norwood, and that's a completely understandable concern and question that people have. The response, that I've been trying to share with folks is that this new law is about zoning and not about construction. So we're required to change our rules to allow for additional multifamily housing development in certain areas, but we're not obligated to construct new units of housing. There may be some built as a result of this new zoning, but this is the reason why we are creating our own district and why town meeting has to approve it before it goes into effect. We get to write the rules, so we get to decide, where future development could or should go, how tall it should be, or how much open space should be on the lot. We really get to set a lot of those parameters to meet the needs of Norwood as a community. And so that's been the challenge, is to try to find a way to make this work for us. But I do feel confident that the planning board and the task force have come up with a bylaw that really tries to meet those local needs while still coming into compliance with a state law. I encourage everybody to come out and participate in one of our events and ask any questions that they have before town meeting.
When Norwood News returns, Joe Della Carpini gives a special weather presentation at the library. We meet the Tony Award winners, and Ron Marshalsea has the latest in sports.
Hi everyone, it's Doug Zakeib. I'm here at the Skating Club of Boston, and we have a few events coming up that we want everybody in town to know about. One is our Sweetheart Skate on Valentine's Day. Wednesday, it's from 7 to 9 p.m. and it's an opportunity to come here and skate with your loved one, singles, friends, single and mingle, whatever you want to do. We've got an evening planned of ambient music, ambient lighting, tableside seating around the ice, hot hors d'oeuvres, great food, and a cash bar. First time we're doing it, we think it's going to be a lot of fun. You can visit us at scboston.org for more information, or on any of our social media channels. And then in April, early April, the 6th and the 7th, we have Ice Chips, the club's annual show, big production, and it's going to be starring this year Jason Brown and Amber Glenn, two really exciting guest stars from around the country. Amber is looking to make the world team, represent the U.S. Jason has already done that. He's a two-time Olympian. We'll also have great skaters here from the club, national medalists, national competitors, and of course group numbers. It's a fun show for the whole family. Tickets start at $40, and you can find out more information on that at its own website, icechips.org. We hope to see you at both events. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Last Sunday, the 10 Outstanding Norwood Youth, or Tony Award ceremony, took place at the Orient Lodge here in Norwood.
Last Sunday, the 10 Outstanding Norwood Youth Tony Award ceremony took place at the Orient Lodge on Day Street. The Tony Awards have been a tradition in Norwood for over 50 years and have been held at the Orient Lodge for over 25. At the ceremony, the Tony Committee recognized all the nominees by providing a brief synopsis of all the activities and accomplishments of the nominees. They then announced the 10 students who were named the 2023 Tony Award winners. In addition to the Tony Awards, several students also received special dedication awards. Norwood should be proud of all the nominees, and the future looks bright for all of them.
Earlier this week, the Morrill Memorial Library welcomed Norwood resident Joe Della Carpini, the Science and Operations Officer at the National Weather Service in Norton. Joe gave a presentation on the overview of the National Weather Service, as well as what a normal winter looks like in Norwood.
Sure. So gave a presentation here at the Memorial Library on kind of what the National Weather Service is, what we do. A lot of people don't realize we're a federal agency. The cost of the taxpayer is only $5 a year, so it's actually a pretty good bargain for your tax dollars. But as a meteorologist for the National Weather Service, I'm not on TV. I don't do on-air weather, but kind of talking about a little bit, we're the source of the official weather warnings that you might see: tornado warnings, flood warnings, winter storm warnings. That we also do other things in addition to day-to-day forecasting. We do a lot of local research on weather events. Also, we partner with local universities. For example, Boston University, UMass, we do a lot of research on coastal flooding, on impacts to transportation, that sort of thing, power outage prediction. We also do partner visits quite a bit. We deal with a lot of the federal, state, and local agencies here in Massachusetts, giving them specialized weather briefings to help them make decisions to keep people safe, including Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, the town of Norwood as well. And we also provide decision support for public safety at large outdoor events, including to Foxborough Fire Department for Gillette Stadium. We also provide on-site weather support for things like the Boston Marathon through Massachusetts Emergency Management, as well as the Boston Esplanade and fireworks display in the summertime. So, a lot of people think we just do forecasting, but it really is a lot more than that. Again, going to things like research and meeting with partners to provide them weather information, some of the things that we do as well.
And now let's throw it over to Owen Descharnay for the latest in school news.
I'm Owen Descharnay, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. In Norwood High School news, the class of 2024 gathered on the front steps to take their yearbook class photo. If you look real close, you can see me right here in the back. In just 4 months, we'll be wearing our caps and gowns when we graduate on June 2nd. At the Coakley Middle School, the new CMS construction company joined our current 8th grade STEM students to look at the multiple career opportunities available in construction. They also brought along their interns from Wentworth to discuss how to prepare and plan for a job in the world of design and building. Thank you to WT Rich for this opportunity. They will do this presentation again next semester for grade 8 semester 2 STEM students. Also, at CMS, students have been working on identifying each of our 11 body systems with the major body parts and organs along with the functions of each system. They will dive deeper into the body system and learn how each system interacts with other systems to keep us healthy and alive. This activity helps students identify and explore the model body parts. Touching and holding the model is much better than looking at images online or in a book. At the Balch, second graders are learning to use different Google applications in library classes. This month, to celebrate the winter season, students have learned how to use Google Draw. Students have created snow people using a variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. We hope you enjoy the whimsical creations students came up with. At the Callahan School, special thanks to the PTA for organizing an amazing Winter Wonderland event. Students had so much fun at all the arts and crafts stations, decorating cookies, doing sand art, enjoying hot cocoa, and participating in the cakewalk. As you can see, the Callahan gym was packed with many smiles. They recently finished a gymnastics unit in physical education at the Cleveland School. Students enjoyed vaulting, wheeling, and creating gymnastics routines. Our 5th grade students created group routines and had the opportunity to perform their routines in front of our 1st grade friends. Students did a fabulous job working cooperatively with their classmates to create such fun, creative routines. At the Oldham School, thanks to the Norfolk County Teachers Association, Ms. Werlick's 4th grade students get to enjoy many new options for flexible seating. Ms. Werlick was generously given a grant for wobble stools and other flexible seating options to be used in her classroom. The students can use these around the room to help stay calm, focused, and productive. The kids are loving it. Thank you to NCTA. At the Prescott School, the PTO hosted an exciting enrichment program for the students called Backtrack Vocals. This assembly was an a cappella group who performed songs like Encanto and Dynamite for the students to sing along to. They taught students how to beatbox by teaching the different sounds and techniques. Students got to come up to the stage and practice their beatboxing skills for everyone. A special thank you to the PTO and Norwood Cultural Council for supplying a grant to support this enriching program for the Prescott students. The month of January was all about community at the Willett Early Childhood Center. Staff and students participated in the first annual Snowman Stroll. Students traveled through the building to visit other classrooms. Each room hosted a different snowman-themed activity, including stories, gross motor games, crafts, and a snow-themed scavenger hunt. The Willett staff decorated the doors to make the school a winter wonderland. The students also participated in the ST Math Winter Waddle. The students worked all month to increase their daily puzzle completion goals. Students who reached their goals were able to have a snowball fight with Gigi. Finally, the Willett PTO hosted a family movie night. Students and families from the Willett and LMPA were invited to the school for a picnic, dinner, and movie. Thank you to the amazing Willett LMPA PTO members for all their support in making this a very cozy month. Little Mustangs Preschool Academy was recently visited by some very special guests, the Pumpernickel Puppets. Thank you to the Mustangs PTO for bringing back these silly, playful, and extremely engaging puppet friends. The kids enjoyed dancing, interacting, and even being squirted by the fish puppet. And who could forget Dancing Baby Gaga? That's it for school news this week. We appreciate all the teachers who take the time to share their news with us. It helps provide us with an inside look at what is happening in our classrooms. Now let's go to sports with Ron Marshalsea.
I'm Ron Marshalsea, and this is your Sports Update. The girls' basketball team hosted Medway and Holliston, getting wins in both games, 63-58 over Medway in overtime and 61-32 over Holliston. In the overtime Medway matchup, the game ball went to Ari Blake for her outstanding defense and 13 points. Trisha Wachowski scored 18 and Ava Murad scored 16. The Mustangs are now 10-4 after the win over Holliston, which officially qualifies them for the postseason tournament. Alexa Corus was a big part of the win over the Panthers. Their next game is at Hopkinton Friday the 2nd, tip-off at 6:30. The boys' basketball team also took on Medway and Holliston this week. They didn't get the win against Medway, but took down Holliston 69-46. Owen Descharnay hit 3 3-pointers, and Maddie Mahoney dropped 40 points in the tournament-clinching win. The 10-4 Mustangs will be hosting Hopkinton this Friday the 2nd at 7 o'clock. The girls' hockey team hosted Dedham and Westwood at the skating club this week. They tied 1-1 against Dedham, but couldn't get anything going against Westwood. Emily Spadorsha got the lone goal against Dedham, and Bernadette Tenori was a wall in net. The team will head to Medfield this Saturday the 3rd at 7:30. In the past week, the boys' hockey team beat Medway 5-2, Ashland 7-2, and in the first round of the Ed Burns tournament, Weymouth 2-1. Andrew Gillis, Sam Lally, Nick Berardinelli, and Owen Trahan got the goals against Medway. 6 different Mustangs scored goals against Ashland, and during the Ed Burns tourney, TJ Martin got the first goal in the first, and Andrew Gillis got the second with this beautiful backhand to put the Mustangs up by 1. Weymouth almost tied it with milliseconds remaining, but the goal was waved off as the buzzer sounded before the shot. Shout out to Brian Mallett and Brendan Connolly for the footage from the tournament. Norwood sits at 10-1-1 and hosts Medfield at the skating club Saturday the 3rd, puck drop at 4 o'clock. The gymnastics team faced off against Medfield on the 25th and Medway on the 27th, but did not get wins in either matchup. The Mustangs are headed back to Medway this Sunday the 4th at noon. Both the girls and boys track teams went up against Medfield last Friday, but neither team came out with a win. At the Reggie Lewis Center were NHS TV students and official sports update correspondents Danielle Damadia and Brian Gagliard. Brian got an interview with head coach Alana Keedy and talked to her about what she looks for in her athletes heading into these meets.
As a high school alum, how does it feel to coach the school you once were at?
It's so fun. I love it. I have a lot of nice memories of running for the Mustangs in high school. I ran cross country and track. They were the best sports. So I'm happy to be back. It's a lot of fun.
Now describe what you look for in each meet from each student.
I just look for them to do better than they did last meet, to drop their time from last time. And it's always nice when someone qualifies. Like today, we had a girl qualify in the 600. So that's nice. As long as they get better every meet, that's what I look for.
Thank you. Let's send it back to Ron.
To watch the full interview and others Brian got at the Reggie Lewis Center, stay tuned for one of the next episodes of NCM Sports Talk. Both track teams have the TVL Track and Field Showcase this weekend, Saturday the 3rd at 10 a.m. NCM will be at the Swim and Dive team's senior night against Dedham, so stay tuned to the NCM community channel for the whole show and for next week's sports update to see how the teams did. The wrestling team is now 12-4 on the season with a big 48-26 win over Norton Wednesday night. A few Mustangs got wins because of forfeits, but seniors Ben Kelly and Jared Tinlin both had excellent matches, and senior captain Nate Sue won his match in 48 seconds. The boys have a tri-meet this Saturday the 3rd at Whitman-Hanson High School at 10 a.m. And we cannot end this sports update without giving a huge shout out to head coach Trisha Brown, who officially is the all-time leader in games coach for Stonehill women's basketball. From 2001 to today, she has coached 637 games and counting. Brown graduated NHS in 1983 and is a member of the Norwood High School Athletic Hall of Fame. And all of us are proud of her accomplishments as a Mustang and a Skyhawk. And that is all I have for this sports update. I'm Ron Marshalsea, and Norwood News will be right back after this break.
This month on Norwood Digest, Jack learns how to make an acai bowl, Bethany King and Luke Capone update the community on the progress of the Coakley Middle School. Alisa Primavera sits down with Jack McCarthy to talk about her fitness journey, and Lewis's bids farewell to a legend behind the stove. Tune in this month to Norwood Digest with Jack McCarthy.
The school committee held an emergency meeting Monday night to discuss one of the candidates dropping out of the superintendent search.
We learned this weekend that one of our finalists was withdrawing from the Norwood search. It's Dr. John Bucky. So he's no longer a finalist for us. And as that information was coming in, David and I were working with Jim to understand sort of process implications and talking through what sort of some options. And we really felt like we wanted to come to the school committee and present the recommendation to still have 3 candidates, because we had another strong candidate as part of our discussion in the screening process. And we felt like with this new information, we could still have an opportunity there. So, and this is obviously for us to discuss, but Jim did reach out to that candidate. They are interested. And so that is the recommendation we would like to move forward with again.
The board voted to move forward with the subcommittee's recommendation to have 3 finalists. The school committee will hold the finalist interviews this Saturday, and they will be aired on NCM on Monday at 3 p.m. Capital Outlay met Tuesday night. Assistant Town Manager Mike Rosen and Budget Management Analyst Kevin Rutherford provided a brief update on recently completed projects. The board also discussed work that needs to be done for FY25 and planned for a March 4th meeting with department heads.
To help combat some of the stress and aches and pains of the winter cold, we turn to Restorative Massage and Wellness, located right in Norwood Center. Everyday stress can take its toll on your body. Looking for a way to let it all slide away? Well, look no further than Restorative Massage and Wellness, located at 714 Washington Street in Norwood Center. Offering an array of services, owner Isaac Massey is ready to help you get restored.
My name is Isaac, and I am the owner at Restorative Massages and Wellness. My background as I was working as a nursing assistant back in 2005, and I get pulled out and trained by physical therapists and occupational therapists as a restorative aide. This is where the name of the business comes from.
Using his knowledge in occupational therapy, Isaac furthered his education and became a licensed massage therapist.
And I was working side by side with physical therapists and occupational therapists. And at the end, then I decided to become a massage therapist right now. So my background, my training with PT and OT lead me to a point that being successful as a massage therapist, especially when it comes to sports massage.
While Restorative Massage has been in Norwood for some time now, they are offering new services at their Washington Street location.
So now we have some new service that we add on. As you can see, we have images that we add on for skincare. We do skincare, facial, waxes, and massage. But one of the most important things that we add right now is the spa day services that client comes in, they get a massage in the same room, and then they get the facial at the same time, as well as couples and single. The couples massage is one of the signature that we have, and also that's very important to us. That I can say it around. We do the same room, and the room is very big and special for the client to be in the same room side by side. And we have two therapists that especially like trained to be in the room to provide a couples massage with them.
Isaac is passionate about his business and works along with his team to meet each client's needs.
And I think that I enjoy doing what I'm doing, and also that I remember when I was working at Harvard University, so after I left and come here and open up this place, and within a space of like 4 years, this is where we are right now. I think that I enjoy doing it, and I feel like every client that walked through the door after they leave, they're very happy with the service.
To learn more about Restorative Massage and Wellness, you can visit their website at www.restorativemassages.com, give them a call, or just walk in.
I started in Norwood in 2015, and I was working at 532 Washington Street, and we opened up the location. I've been very supportive, and I can say we grow a lot. I can't say enough about the town, and I've been very successful, and also that supporting throughout the COVID with the help and that we get from the town.
Director of the Norwood Senior Center, Carrie McCarthy, tells us all about what's happening at the center during February.
Hi there, Carrie McCarthy, the Director of the Norwood Senior Center. I'm here today to give you an update on some things that are happening during the month of February. On Thursday, February 8th, we are starting a new card making class. You can come, and it's more of an arts and crafts, and we will be making 2 cards. Sign up, it's a new program, and we're hoping to bring it here monthly. And then on Friday, February 16th at 1 o'clock, we are going to have a historical portrayal on Martha Washington. So I think that will be appropriate for President's Day. So come on in and join us. And then our Valentine's celebration is going to be a little delayed, but it will be on Friday, February 23rd at 1 o'clock. But at 12:30, we'll be having some hot fudge sundaes. So who doesn't want some hot fudge sundaes during the month of February? You must sign up for it, but we're going to have some desserts, and then we'll have the band, the Bo Winokur Band, will be joining us at 1 o'clock to provide some great music and dancing. So please sign up for that because it will fill up quickly. And then on Monday, February 26th, our own town assessor, Tim McDonough, is going to come in and talk about some tax savings programs. We all hear our taxes are going up. We're going to have some information out there for you to see if there's any program through the town of Norwood or through the state that you could get on to help pay some of your taxes. We'll also have information on SNAP benefits, fuel assistance, and the Medicare Savings Program, as well as the Senior Tax Work-Off Program here in Norwood. So it's going to be a great, informative event, and we hope you join us. Have a great month, everybody. Thank you.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to leave you with a list of upcoming events being covered by Norwood Community Media. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.
Take care, everybody.